Hey everyone, today I had Heather Leicy with me. She is a photographer, senior and wedding photographer, and also a co host of the Conquer Live conference. And we talked about some taxes and some things that you should be asking your CPA to maximize your tax year. I know that's something that all of us need to learn a little bit more about and understand how to make the best out of the income and expenses of our business. So, great conversation. We had some other fun side conversations as well. So I know you're going to enjoy this. We are going to add a link to a referral code for QuickBooks on the show notes. So make sure you check that as well. Let's dive in. Hey there, I am Nata Salvatori, and you're listening to the Accidental CEO podcast. This is a space for high performing entrepreneurs who have built real success, but still find themselves tangled in the day to day. If you're done being the engine of your business and you're ready for scale with clarity, trust, and ease, you're in the right place. Each week, I'll bring you sharp strategies, identity level mindset shifts, and leadership tools to help you rise above the business and lead from alignment, not exhaustion. Because scaling isn't about doing more, it's about becoming more of who you're meant to be. Subscribe now and let's build a version of your business that finally supports you. You're not just winging it, you are leading it. But let's be honest, being the CEO and the everything else can get lonely, messy, and exhausting. That's why I created the Accidental CEO Collective, a free Facebook community for creative entrepreneurs who never planned to be the boss, but damn it, here we are. Inside, I go live every week to share the real stuff. Strategies that don't require a business degree, behind the scenes struggles, because you're not the only one, and wins that we actually celebrate, even the tiny ones. If you're a scrappy, smart, sometimes slightly burnout founder who is ready to lead with more clarity and less chaos, this is your room. We're building a business that works for us, not one that runs us into the ground. Come join us. Let's grow, mess up, pivot, and succeed together. Just search the Accidental CEO Collective on Facebook and join our group today. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Accidental CEO podcast. I am your host, Nata Salvatori, and today I have Heather Leicy with me. She's a wedding and senior photographer and owner of Heather Marie Photography in Pennsylvania. She's also a co-host of a very awesome conference that we're going to tell you all about. Welcome, Heather.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
It's so glad you are spending some time with us and sharing some really good insights. We're going to talk about some tax stuff that you probably need to be hearing because, God, we're lost when it comes to taxes and the creative arena. And I swear, the more education we get, the better. So I'm so excited. We'll talk about that a little bit. So first, tell us what you do right now. What is your focus? What the company kind of, what is the mission and vision? And then we'll get back into how did you find yourself doing this?
Yeah, so I am a wedding and senior photographer based in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But then I also teach photographers all about taxes and how to prepare their tax numbers so that they can go into their meetings with their accountant fully ready and not stressed out. And then, like you mentioned, on the other side, I'm also co-host of the Conquer community. And we do bi-weekly calls where people can just come for free and just ask us questions however they are. It could be marketing, it could be pricing, it can be photos, everything and anything. And then we also do a yearly retreat that's called Conquer Live, where we get together with a very small group of people. It's a 2-to-1 ratio from attendees to educators. And we just dive into their businesses. We become a huge family. It's so much fun. And so we do that each year in January.
That's amazing. I'm excited for all the fun things that you guys have coming up. I just love how you keep that ratio really small because I feel like it's a huge asset to you guys to differentiate you from other conferences, but also to the people attending and how much they get out of it. So super exciting. How did you ended up with a camera in your hands? Let's talk about that because I know that wasn't your major. So
Yeah, so I actually went to school for architecture. which is kind of a total flip to now being a full-time wedding photographer. But I did get a minor in it when I was in college, so I can at least say that. But I had no thoughts of ever being a photographer. I just did it for fun. And I was totally the overachiever type of person that just loved to fill my schedule. So I'm like, let's do two minors, one in photography, one in business, and we'll just go from there. But after I finished college, really only I took photos of was waterfalls, which has nothing to do with people. And it wasn't until my wedding. Now, I'm sorry, this is probably going to sound cliche, but it was our first dance and we were spinning around and I can like vividly remember this, but looking at all the people just watching us and then seeing my photographers and just thinking like, how cool is this chance that they get to be here capturing the people that are on someone's most important day when those people at all in one place will never be together again. And so I that was what started like me falling in love with photography and went home. I think it was a couple months after, but I took classes on it and the rest is history. I've like fallen in love with it.
Wow, so huge shift right there. No, well, it's still in the arts and kind of creative world, which is nice. But, would you say you're able to use any of the things that you've learned, for both, the photography classes that you took and the business classes that you took?
When you're in college for photography, you do like everything. So you do like film, you go into the dark room, you learn all the history behind it. So some of those things I definitely did not continue on with. But between photography and business minors and then architecture, there was definitely some things that I pulled from it. From architecture specifically, just the time management. We would have projects that would have to be due within a week. And it was like fully designing a building and having a concept and doing all the drawings. And so being able to take that and implement it into my business, I feel like I've really been able to like streamline what I need to get done when and figure out ways to do it in small amounts of time. Just for business side of things, just having that minor under my belt really helped me understand like how to set up my business. Now I've learned a ton more since then, but I think I felt more confident having that minor because I was like, okay, I at least know basics on what it means to have a business and then just learn more about the specific photography things from there.
That's awesome. At least you had that little bit, to help you get going. I was just in Seattle visiting my college volleyball coach, who I haven't seen in 14 years, and decided to go visit him and took the girls for him to meet. So it was a super fun visit. So we were reminiscing and talking about the past, and it was funny. I actually took a photography class in my first year in college, but if you have listened to my story before, I came from Brazil, didn't speak any English at all, so they put us in whatever class they could that we could somewhat get a decent grade to not affect the team. So I took a photography class way back when and completely forgot about it until not too long ago. I was talking to somebody and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I took a photography class in college." And I remember learning about Photoshop and not much more than that. There's very very little memory because obviously I didn't understand a vast majority of what was being said in class. But it was just funny that that was part of my past that I completely forgot, and now it's back in my life. So always fun.
Random side note, what position did you play in volleyball? I did volleyball in college too.
Oh, I was a middle and right side.
Okay, I was gonna guess it for you. I was a setter, so
Yeah,
sometime we
yeah,
might have to
six
chat.
two, 6'2". They had to use my height for something.
Oh yeah, you were probably great for it.
Yes, it was all right. I got a D1 scholarship, so I think I was okay.
That's awesome. My goodness, I love it.
So what inspired that shift from architecture to pursuing photography full time, and how did your background kind of influence the style of photography that you have now?
Yeah, so it was kind of a longer process probably than some people do when they make the transition. I started just kind of feeling like I wasn't being able to use my full creative outlet in architecture. In school, you get to do everything and anything. They give you like one prompt and then you just go with it on what you want your building to look like. But kind of in the real world, it's more like you have clients, you have a budget you have to deal with. There's a lot more of restrictions that you can do or can't do when it comes to your designing. And so I just kind of felt like I was squashed and not able to fully be creative. And so that's kind of what shifted me to just considering doing more architecture after I already got started in it. And then from there, when I was starting to make the transition, I really kind of did it slowly. I am not a person that's like, let's just jump in and see what happens and we'll go from there. I need like step by step and I need to know I'm going to be okay and have foundation set up. And so I actually went to my numbers, which perfect for a tax person. Like I love doing number things. So I actually set aside my architecture income and put it into a separate folder and did not touch it for a year and saw if I could actually help support my family with the amount of money that I needed to provide using only photography. And that was probably my biggest shift that I did to see if I could make that transition over. And then another thing that we did was also we just made sure we set aside at least 6 months of what we needed to pay in bills to make sure we could cover ourselves just in case I had to fall back and find a job somewhere. So I know that like slow process is probably not what people want to hear. They want to be like, in 1 month, how can I quit my job and switch over and be full time in photography? But I just think it gave me the peace of mind that when I made the shift, I was fully okay and our family was going to be okay doing that shift. And once I made that shift, I just like creativity just went out the roof. I love doing it. I still love every moment that I get to work with clients. It's just so fun. Everything's so different. Every day is so different. It's just a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because I did something similar to you, and I think people don't talk about it enough. I was a physical therapist at the time, so was doing photography on the side, and I did the opposite, but I saved all the money that I earned on the photography business and put it aside and didn't use it at all. So I was able to create a good cushion in there, and so we saved a year's worth of expenses instead of 6 months. And that's when it was then you're just comfortable. Then there's less stress because really what makes people feel worried about most of the time is money. Like, am I going to make enough money to keep the lifestyle and take care of my family? So when you are really clear on what is the barrier, what is keeping you from taking that step, and when you make a very specific plan to address it, then you basically getting rid of all the excuses. And then, so what is keeping you now? Like you have a year's worth of expenses saved. So if you quit this job and you don't book one session for the whole year, we're still fine. So what's your excuse now? Right? So you kind of eliminate all those excuses that we put in our heads about this transition. But it also allows you, like you said, to have that creativity and be more free to enjoy and be creative because you're not worried about the money all the time. So I'm 100% in favor of having a good plan, having a good cushion, or even have a job on the side, have a part time job at the same time where you feel like you can relax and focus on the photography and not have to worry about money all the time. So thank you for mentioning that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I also think it just helps you not burn out. Because if you always have that pressure that you have to make the money, then you're not going to love what you're doing. You're going to feel like it's a job. When you go full time, you really don't want it to like it is your job, but you want it to just be the thing you love to do and it just happens to be your job. But if there's always that pressure of the money sitting on your shoulders, you're going to fall out of love doing it. So I completely agree with you.
So let's talk about money a little bit more. The full-time photographer, how do you manage the finances through the year? Because we know we hear from a lot of photographers and just people in the wedding industry out there how there's a lot of ups and downs with income based on wedding season and all that kind of stuff. So how do you kind of manage going through that? And how does that affect maybe tax planning and things like that?
So I say the biggest thing is track your money. It's not just have it go through your bank account and it's on a statement and that's all you do. Make sure you're keeping track of everything when it comes to income and expenses that you have in your business. Doing this not only can just tell you where your business is financially throughout the month or the week or whatever it is, but in the terms of taxes, it's also setting you up to save time at the end of the year when you have to prepare all your tax numbers. So when you are organizing your expenses, like I mentioned, in terms of taxes, if you start categorizing those expenses into the different tax deduction categories that your CPA is going to need when they're filing your taxes, this is one huge step, but it's very small step that you can be doing to cut down hours at the end of the year when it's tax season and you're panicking and you're like, where's that receipt? What did I spend on this? You already have it organized. So that rhythm that you can set up can be a weekly, at the most, I would say monthly, maybe bi-weekly would be a good start. Is just sit down and whatever expenses you did for that previous week or bi-week, just make sure you organize them. It can be in a spreadsheet. If you have QuickBooks, that makes it even easier because it will automatically sift those expenses over into QuickBooks and you just have to click and categorize them. But whatever the system is, just stay on top of it. Don't wait until the end of the year to do with it because that's where the time adds up when you're trying to organize everything.
So what Heather is talking about is basically bookkeeping, right? So making sure that you understand your finances and classify your expenses is the main thing to then have somebody do your taxes for you. There's basically two options for that. You can pay somebody to do your bookkeeping, or you can do it yourself, which is what I prefer to do because I feel like it's again helps me have a good understanding where the money is going. If I'm spending maybe too much on something and I'm not paying attention, this helps me. It just helps me call attention to it. It helps me catch subscriptions that I don't need anymore sometimes if I'm not looking at it. So things like that, it becomes helpful. I'm all about delegating things that I don't need to do, but I also like to understand things before I delegate. So if something's not being done correctly, I have the ability to have a conversation with that person about it and question why things are not done correctly. So I'm a big proponent of you learning what it means first before you delegate to somebody. So those those are the options there. Yeah, I use QuickBooks as well. I used to so my daughters have singing lessons every Monday, which means I have to sit in the car for an hour. That used to be my that's my reconciliation hour every week. I'm just like swiping and reclassifying things. During the summer they were off, so I didn't have that. So I just did that whenever I was in the airport this summer, flying somewhere for a conference or to shoot. So that was airport task was reconciliating, doing some bookkeeping. So again, you make it work, but I definitely say do not let it accumulate if you're the one doing it, because it will help you keep an eye on overall what things look like. So another great tip from Heather. She's killing it today. Let's be honest, you didn't build this business to work 80 hours a week, chasing invoices and solving problems at midnight. But now you hit a wall. You've outgrown DIY and you're spinning your wheels trying to scale and stay sane. That's where one-on-one coaching with me comes in. This is not a cookie cutter program. It's tailored, strategic support designed specifically for founders like you, the ones who built something from nothing and are now carrying all the weight. We'll get clear on what's keeping you stuck, simplify your focus, and build a plan that gets results without burning you out. If you want a second brain and no BS sounding board, and someone who can help you make better, faster, smart decisions, this is for you. Head out to accidentalceo.co/coaching. That's accidentalceo.co/coaching. And let's work together to grow your business and take your life back.
In addition to that, I love that you said that you do it in the car. I think that gives people the understanding that if you do it weekly or bi-weekly, it's only going to take you 5 to 10 minutes to do it. It's not 2 hours that you have to sit and look at your numbers. Swipe quick, especially on top of expenses, tracking your mileage and swiping if it's personal or business. Just download the app Mile IQ and it will be your saving grace for you to just easily be able to track your mileage and not have to do it at the end of the year, trying to remember exactly what you did on April 14th or whatever day it is. So I love that you said that because this is not a daunting task. It's 5 minutes tops. Just organize your things weekly. You're done.
Yeah, love that. We'll make sure that we link a QuickBooks referral code for you guys as well, so you can use it and swipe it like Heather and I do all the time. So, what would you say are the 4 essential questions that you think people should be asking their CPA to kind of maximize the benefits from the tax season?
I love this question because people do not utilize their CPA enough. This person is like your secret weapon when it comes to tax time. And if you have a good connection and communication with them, you are going to save more and more money in the amount of money that you have to pay in taxes. So utilize your CPA. If you get anything out of this call or podcast episode, utilize your CPA. So, first question that I would say is, how can I improve my bookkeeping to make your job easier for next year? This is a big, important question because you are spending money to have them do your bookkeeping and then, well, not your bookkeeping, filing your taxes. If you are not asking them how you can make it simpler or how you can streamline the numbers that you provide to them, then you're just wasting time having them have to do it and figure it out. So that is number one. Just see what you can do to make it easier so that they spend less time on your taxes. And then, second one is, are there any red flags in my business? This is so important because you can get in the weeds of your business and not be looking at it at a high level. Just checking in with your CPA to see if there's anything that you could do differently that can save you money or that can make sure that you're not doing something incorrectly based off of your state rules. The CPA can be a huge asset to make sure that everything is getting filed right and you're right with the state or right with the government. So just make sure to check in with them about that. Hopefully, there's nothing that you have to worry about, but it's always a good thing. When I first worked with my CPA the first year, this is just like a very small, quick story, but we were actually tracking our car vehicle expenses incorrectly, and it actually hurt us the year before, and so they actually they helped us reconcile it. And I had no idea that that was a thing, and working with my CPA was the person that helped me realize that I was doing it wrong and fixed it so that from then on I didn't have to worry about it. So just check in because you may not have any idea. Number three is, are there any ways that I can decrease what I pay in taxes? So this is where your CPA is your secret weapon. They know deductions like the back of their hand. Ask them if there's something that you can change in your business or something that you can eliminate that you're paying for, or just something that you can do differently, like client gifts. If you put your logo on them, that can switch your client gift expenses into the marketing category instead of the gifts category when it's a deduction category for taxes. And the reason you want to do that is because the gifts deduction category can only be for $25 per person per year. If you go into the marketing, there is no cap on it. So add your logo to something, make it a marketing piece of product, and then that will help you save more in your business for taxes. And then the last one is, are there any new tax laws that will impact me next year? This is just to get you prepared in case anything is switching so that you might have to track something differently or give them numbers differently. So this just sets you up for the next year so that you know if you need to do anything different in your business.
That's great. I'm sure all the CPAs out there will be very happy that all these people are asking smart questions now. So, and definitely recommend, especially if it's your first year in business, to get a CPA and start and get your business account, guys. Business account and personal account should be separate. Cannot stress this enough. Your CPA will be very happy with you if that happens too. So, get somebody that understands to kind of help you and guide you. So very cool. Tell us a little bit about how you manage to keep your tax season more stress free. Do you have any specific like practices or systems that you found more effective other than some constant bookkeeping in there and not letting things accumulate?
Yeah, so there's one other one in addition to that weekly rhythm that I think is really important. And that is to set money aside anytime a payment hits your bank account that you've received for anything. If it's a client that you've worked with or prints that you sold that someone paid you, make sure to set 30% aside or 30% of that aside, just off into a separate account or a separate bucket so that you're not going to touch that money throughout the year and you already have it ready to go whenever a tax payment comes up. Because there's several tax payments you need to make throughout the year, whether it's that annual tax at the end of the year or estimated taxes or sales tax. If you already have that money aside and all you have to do is just transfer it into your checking and make the payment, your stress level will go way down when it comes to taxes.
That's very good. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of I think maybe my first year of business was the only time I actually had to pay taxes, and I've gotten a refund since. So it's always fun to have that check for some fun things. So
Oh, the bonus at the end of the year when you've saved more is the best.
yes, I agree. So how do you balance that creative work with some of the financial stuff, running a business? Because I know that's where a lot of people get stuck and get frustrated and ended up kind of quitting the business because I hear a lot of people say, I'm a creative. I don't know anything about numbers. And they just run away. And I'm like, no, you have to have a business to be able to take pictures. Like, let's talk about it. It can be fun and it can be something that you actually enjoy doing because you see the fruits of your labor and get excited about doing it again. So I'm very business minded and numbers oriented. So to me, it comes easy, but I know it's not easy for everybody. So how do you manage all of that?
I love it. So I think we hit on a good amount of them just in talking. One, if you're able to pay for it, outsource it. If this is not something that you love and doesn't bring you joy and you want to do something else, then outsource the things that you need to do when it comes to organizing your finances. Whether it's QuickBooks, that's one step that can just help, or having a bookkeeper come onto your team and doing those things. Another thing, like we just mentioned, is put that money aside and then celebrate when you have extra money to give to yourself at the end of the year. That bonus and like tax season, I love tax season because I know that I've set more money aside than I need to every single year. And I'm like, what can I use this money for? For like Joel and I, my husband, to go on a date or put towards a vacation or get a new piece of equipment. Like that is the things that makes it exciting. And when you get that bonus, it's like a Christmas bonus, but it's in April. It's the best thing ever. I think the last one is just set a day per week to work on those number things and then do it and be done with it for the rest of the week. I love doing it on Mondays. You could do it on Fridays to like end your week, but just do it for one set period of time. Sit yourself down, do it for an hour, and then don't think about it the rest of the week. It's like that analogy that people have said where a plane uses the most amount of fuel when it's taking off and landing compared to then when it's just in the sky cruising. If you are constantly bouncing back and forth and having to work on your numbers throughout the entire week, you're wasting more time because you always have to set your mind back onto what you're doing. Plus, you're just losing the joy of working on your business because you're always having to do your numbers. So if you just set it for Monday at 10 a.m. and sit down and only do that for an hour, then the whole rest of the week you don't have to worry about the numbers, but your business is still set up to know and track those things for you.
Let's take it back into wedding photography a little bit more. What do you think were the skills that you were able to transfer from your former career into wedding photography, and how helpful was to have those?
Ooh, good question. Okay, so the biggest one is I just think I've been able to connect with my clients really well. And that's something that I learned through architecture because you are sitting down working one on one with those clients to make a building. And I think it's just a great representation because when someone sits down and they know nothing about architecture and they're like, I want this building and I want it to do this, they always talk to you about like how they want it to feel or what they want someone to experience when they're in the building. It's not, I want the wall to be here and I want this room to be 10 feet by 20 feet. It's always like the experience that they have. And so to be able to take that and just provide a great experience for my clients and kind of step into their shoes on how do they want their day to feel and what can I do to provide that for them? I think that's been a big thing that I've learned from architecture and passed on to photography.
What is your favorite thing about being a wedding photographer?
Oh, I think I feel like I answered this. I should try to think of something else. My clients are seriously my favorite thing about photography. I just feel like I always say it, and my couples have always said it, and my seniors have always said it. Like when they leave sessions or wedding days with me, they just feel like I'm another friend or I'm another bridesmaid on the wedding day. That's always like the thing that I like to say. And that's because they've said it. Like, I just want to show up. I want to come and join the conversation about whatever it is that you're talking about on your wedding day or whatever plans you have as a senior for your senior year. I don't just want to be another vendor that's like, stand here, do this. Okay, bye. I'm going to go over there. I'll talk to you when I need you again. Like, I just want to be there to enjoy the day with you or celebrate the milestone with you. And that doesn't only let me really connect with them, but it also just lets them feel comfortable and relax and just get the most genuine and just stress-free time for their day. And that shows up in their photos. And so I just love doing that with them.
That's awesome. I can hear it in your voice how excited you are about that. So that's awesome. Do you how many weddings do you photograph a year now?
Yeah, so I have a team that works under me. So before I had the team, I did about 20 to 25. Now that I have a team, I do about 10 to 15, and then my team does about 10 to 15 as well. So I don't do quite as many now that I've had my daughter, but I still absolutely love doing everything and anything with my couples. And my seniors are great too. So I have a spokesmodel team that I work with as well, and so I'm with them for their entire year. And so I love just spending that full year and just celebrating them. But then I also do some senior photos for other girls as well.
Do you feel like having a team allows you to be more present with your family, or you're able to find a good way to, and I don't like to use the word balance, but to manage everything from a work life, kind of situation and being able to do everything before you even had a team, or you feel like now that you have a team that's a lot easier to do?
Yeah, I think it's just the biggest thing has allowed me to be home on weekends. I know as wedding photographers, that's often said like, "Oh, you lose your weekends." But before that, I never felt like I was missing out on tons of things. But now with my daughter, especially in these first couple years, there's just so many milestones that happen. Having that team just lets me be home and just to see those things so that it's not just a picture on my phone or a video on my phone that someone sent me because I missed out on it. So I've loved doing that. In addition to that, that wasn't the only reason that I started the team. I have just loved working with so many couples, and it just is heartbreaking when you have to say no to them. And so to still be able, I have my team set up where my team members go and shoot it, but I'm still very big and a part of my couples. So even though I'm not there, I edit the photos and I also do all of the communication leading up to the wedding day. So I still feel like I'm there because I'll look through the photos and I don't know, it just feels like I'm at the place with them. And so even though I'm not there, I just feel like a big connection to my couples. And I've loved that my team has provided that where we can still work together, but I'm not actually there on the wedding day.
That is exactly what I do with my team as well. So I love that. I feel like
I can't let my couples go.
I know. We're soul twins. We love taxes. We love our couple. So fun. Well, Heather, tell everybody where to find you if they want to work with you and learn more about maybe the conference as well. And it's where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, heather.marie.leicy. On there, you will find all things ice cream and my little daughter and fun stuff and photography. Oh, and taxes. You can also go to my website. It's heathermlphoto.com. And then in addition to that, if you want to learn more about Conquer, you can go to at the Conquer Community Instagram or theconquercommunity.com to learn more about Conquer Live and just everything that we offer within the community. In addition to that, I'm not sure when this is going live, but September 5th, my course called Make Taxes Suck Less will be coming out. So if you want to learn more about taxes, feel free to join that wait list. You can find that at my website too.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us and sharing all these amazing tips. That was super fun and definitely a lot of things that people need to be paying attention to. So I appreciate you.
I love it. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And we'll see you next week again at another episode of the Accidental CEO podcast. Bye. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Accidental CEO podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us in the world where creativity and business strategy collide. I am Nata Salvatori, thrilled to have shared this time with you. Remember, every episode is a step closer to mastering the art of being an accidental CEO. So don't miss out. Hit subscribe, drop us a sweet review, and spread the word to your creative tribe. Your next big breakthrough could be just one episode away. Join us next time for more insights, laughs, and actionable tips. Keep pushing boundaries, dreaming big, and embracing the beautiful chaos of entrepreneurship. Here's to make magic happen in your business and beyond.